Hey guys, it's Luca from FoilMagicCards.com, and today I want to make a video that asks kind of a big question in this space, which is if I have an old frame foil card and I get it graded, how does that affect the price? So like if I get a 9, if I get a CGC 9, if I get a CGC 9.5, if I get a BGS 10, a BGS 9, how is this going to affect the price of the graded card? So what we've done here is we've just collected a lot of data on eBay. Now, I don't like to kind of make conclusions about things where I don't have a lot of data. The vast majority of graded foils that have been sold recently, like graded old border foils or old frame foils, have been CGC. So I don't feel totally comfortable kind of making any assumptions about what the BGS value would be, although I have found from experience that BGS is very close to a CGC. So let's say you have a Sliver Overlord CGC 9 versus a BGS 9. It'll be very close to the same value. There's usually a slight premium to the BGS copy because BGS is just like more trusted at the moment since CGC is kind of brand new. But in general, they're quite close if you wanted to kind of estimate what a BGS is worth. So how do we collect this data? We basically go to eBay, and every day or every week we go look at the sold listing. So I'm not so concerned with like what's listed. You know, anyone can list anything for any price. I think the most important data is what is actually sold. So this is all sold data. And you know, let's just take an example like something that sold recently. So like Archivist, right? So this sold for about $150. And then what we also look at is we look at, okay, what is the raw price for that? So if I wanted to go on TCG Player and I wanted to buy a near mint copy of that Archivist, it would cost about $65. So we're basically, for those of you who are kind of into math, we're kind of doing an XY regression, where X is like the raw value, and then we're trying to see, given the raw value, how does that affect the graded price? And we're kind of grouping these together by the same grade, same company. So first we've got all these CGC 9s. Let's see, how many do we have? From like 67 to 177. So we have like 110 pieces of data for CGC 9s. And then for 9.5s, we are from 178 to 257. So we have about 80 pieces of data for the 9.5s. Okay? So we go through eBay, we kind of look at all the sold listings, we then record what the raw price is at that time, and we just keep track of all these. And then finally, we plot these in a scatter plot and we make a regression. So a regression is basically like a line of best fit here. So this is for the CGC 9s. So the line of best fit here says basically what you should do is you should multiply the raw value by 1.43 and then add 27.6. Okay, so if, for example, let's say you had a $100 card raw, well, let's just go through an example. Okay, so like for example, I just got an Elvish Champion graded. So let's look for Elvish Champion 7th edition. And remember, this is for old border foils that this data has been collected, so it doesn't necessarily apply to other cards. Right, so I want to look at foil near mint, and it looks like it's about $400 to get a foil near mint copy of this card, right? So if we use our formula, let's say we grade it and we get a CGC 9, that would be 400 times 1.43 plus 27.6. So taking a $400 raw card, then getting a CGC 9, the graded version would be worth about $600. And we can do the same kind of calculation for a 9.5. So equals 400 times 3.01 plus 36.3. And if you had that same card get a 9.5, it'd be worth about $1,200, $1,240. So as you can see, there's kind of like, and it's interesting because grading a card in CGC is about $30-ish. So we've got this plus 27.6 and the plus 36.3 is kind of like the grading cost. And then it looks like the the premium that you get for a 9 is like a 43%, and the premium you get for a 9.5 is like 200%. So it's almost like tripling the price if you get a 9.5. I mean, take all these prices with a grain of salt because there's just not that much data, and these things may change very rapidly over time. So I wouldn't take this as gospel, but I think it's like it's one of the more accurate representations you can get if you really wanted to wonder what something's worth. Maybe we can create some kind of like confidence interval around this. So maybe for a CGC 9.5, the premium should be somewhere between 100 and 300%. And maybe for like a CGC 9, the premium somewhere between 20 and 60%, or between 10 and 70%, something like that. Yeah, so that's the whole video. I don't want to make this too long, but this is kind of a way that you can think about how do I price my graded cards, and is it worth grading my cards? As you can see here, it does seem like it is worth grading your cards because, if you get a 9.5, you're kind of tripling the value of the card or doubling the value if this is overestimate. But it does look like it fits the data quite well in both of these situations. So yeah, based on this, kind of maybe you already have a graded card. This is one way to evaluate it, the price of it. And maybe you don't have any graded cards, but you're thinking about grading a card. If you think it has a pretty good shot of getting a 9 or a 9.5, if it's like quite flawless, then yeah, I think you should definitely go for it. Because even if you only have like a 20-30% chance of getting a high grade, it still seems like quite a good bet to go for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Luca from FoilMagicCards.com, and I hope to see you guys in another video.